Hello, everybody. Welcome to another training. And this training is one of those game changer ones that can help you really transition your mindset to create the identity that you really need to have to do the things you need to do to be successful. So, what we're getting into tonight is how to have everything that you want and do the things you need to do to be successful. So let's jump right in. Make myself small. Here we go. So the first question I want to ask you is, when you graduated from high school and you wanted to have a better life, more skills, ability, better job options, etc., what did you do? Now, most people, what they do in this moment is they go to college, right? Now, I want you to understand, I'm not saying that you need to go to college in this presentation, not at all. Okay, if you never go to college, it's totally fine. What I am saying is that what most people do when they graduate from high school is a lot of times they're like, oh, I need to go to college because when I go to college, that will allow me to have a better life, have more skills, have more ability, and have better job options. So that's what they do. Now, why then, when most people go, nearly a third of college freshmen drop out before their sophomore year? And the reality is that most of them, when they go there, they're working from their circumstance, not their identity. Okay, so they are really, their identity is somebody who will not be successful in this particular endeavor. And it's because their identity is all dictated by their circumstance. And I'm going to show you exactly why people that go to college that are successful do really well. Now, like I said, college is not for everybody. This is just the example I'm using to make you see the concept that I'm talking about. So this is what happens. People that are successful when they go to college, they are being a certain way. They have a certain identity. First, they're ready for college. Then they're willing to be there. They're willing to do the work. They're ready to do the work and they're willing to do the work. And they're committed to doing the work. They're committing to, for sometimes longer amount of years to get the job done, to get what they want, right? They're invested. So they're invested both time and money and emotions and everything else. They're being resourceful because they're stepping into something where they've never done this before, and they're just doing the best that they can to get the resources to be successful. And they may need to, like I said, get loans and get an extra job or whatever it is. And they're being 100% responsible. So they know if they don't make it through the whole thing and graduate, it's on them, right? There's nobody that can determine their success other than themselves. They're being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So they're stepping into that zone of, you know what, this is something new. I need to experiment with this. And, it's uncomfortable when you grow. They're being accountable and focused. So they're being accountable to their grades, their teachers, their parents, everybody out there. And they're getting very focused on what they're trying to accomplish in their life and really where, what they're trying to get job wise. And then they're being disciplined, which is consistency and persistence. Then what they're doing, because that's their identity, and that's what's leading them to be successful, they're being a certain way, they're doing certain actions. So they're learning and practicing new skills, studying plus learning and applying. They're taking out loans and using credit and all those things to make it happen, because most people don't have that kind of cash lying around, but yet they know if they put $100,000 into themselves, they are actually going to get a really great return on investment throughout the rest of their life. So that's why, in the beginning, they're being invested in themselves. They're being resourceful. And then they're figuring it out. They might even need to get a part or full-time job to make sure it works out, but they're figuring it out even when things get hard, or maybe, the financial aid falls through, they're just figuring it out and making it happen. And they're taking responsibility. They pushed into uncertainty and difficult challenges. They're doing a lot of time at the library, studying, tutors, TAs, professors, all that stuff. And they're doing a lot of delayed gratification activities versus instant gratification activities. Now, in college, is there plenty of instant gratification activities? Absolutely, right? And to be successful and graduate from college, you're going to have to do a lot more delayed gratification in order to be and have success. So when you are being this way and you're taking these actions, this is what ends up happening, right? You get a better circumstance. You're having more. So you're having more value in your life. You're having the chance to have more ability. You're having a good GPA and better job prospects. You have more chance to make more future money because you're going to have more value in the marketplace. You're going to have more resources for success. You're going to have better job options. You're going to have good money, lifestyle, etc., good GPA, job prospects, graduate, diploma, job, all these great things, right? All of these things, each one of these being things leads to different doing activities, which allows you to have certain circumstances. So this is how, if you're trying to be successful in anything that you want in life, this is how you go about doing it, right? And people, when it comes to college, they totally get this concept. They're like, got it, totally, locked down. No, I know that I need to do all of these things. I know I need to be this certain way, do these things so I can have this specific circumstance. However, when it gets into later on in their life and they're going after either building their business or improving their health or whatever, for some reason, this gets flipped around and gets backwards. And they get caught in the wrong way of going about it. And therefore, they don't get to be who they need to be. And they don't get to have what they need to have because they're not doing what they need to do. And we'll show you exactly right now what I mean. Let's talk about business right now. This is how a lot of people approach business. They're like, you know what? I need to have more money in order to build my business. I need to have more time in order to build my business. Oh, I really need more energy to build my business. I need to have more connections. I need to make, have more income in sales in order to build my business. I need to have more growth and positive mindset. I totally need more ability or else I won't be able to build my business. I need more knowledge. I need more focus. That's how they go at it. They're like, I need to have more of these circumstantial things. And then because they don't have those things, they don't do these things. They don't do more coaching, marketing, outreach, and sales. They're not doing more business building activities. They're not building their business or taking care of themselves, right, while they're going through it. They're not networking more. They're not investing in themselves and their business, because that's one and the same, right? Investing is important if you're going to try to grow. They're not making the connections, giving the value, and making the offers that they need to make. All right, connect more value, more offers, more sales, right? Helping more people and more productivity, right? So each one of these things leads into the thing next to it, right? Now, therefore, because they don't have these things, then they tend to not do these things. So they will have a very difficult time being these things. They will have trouble being invested, being ready, and especially being these things over the long term, right? Because the being is what allows you to keep what you get. It's what allows you to keep what you have, right? Or what you get. And willing, committed, resourceful, 100% responsible, all the things we talked about when it comes to being a successful college student, right? It's the same thing in being a successful entrepreneur and business owner. So that's what it looks like. So if we flip it, right, we have to understand that your outer world reflects your subconscious identity. Any situation that you find yourself in is an outward reflection of your inner self, your identity. If you look at all of the lottery winners out there, a lot of them go for broke. Why? Why do they go bankrupt after winning millions of dollars? Well, it's because it's not part of their identity. They don't keep it because it's not who they are. So this is how we flip it biz style. If we're trying to do our business, we need to first be invested in our business. You need to invest in yourself. I've invested thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars into my own personal and professional development in order to make this successful. You need to be ready. You need to be willing. You need to be committed. You need to be resourceful. A lot of people are like, well, I can't invest in my business. I don't have any money. Well, you can figure it out, right? Loans, credit, all those things. I built a lot of my business. I'm not saying go into debt. I'm just saying that's a way that you can make things happen. Borrow money from a friend, whatever it is, right? I was very successful because, I put myself into a place where I had no choice but to be successful because I exhausted all my resources so that I pushed myself into being the person I needed to be. And I take 100% responsibility for that. I take 100% responsibility for the debt that I incurred, but I knew the return on the investment that I made was going to make it so that I was successful. And my members feel the exact same way. I needed to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's not going to work if you are not being that way. You have to be accountable and focused, and definitely be disciplined, which is consistency and persistence, right? So as you can see, the being part is so absolutely important in stepping into being a successful entrepreneur and business owner. And that is where, when we go into the next part, the doing, it's going to be a lot easier to do those things. More coaching, more business building activities, more self-care, more networking, investing in your business more connections, more value that you're giving. You're helping more people because you're being this way. You're able to do these things because that's just what you do, because it's who you are, right? And then you can have all of those things. You're going to have more money. You're going to have more time. You're going to have more energy, right? Because you're making more sales and income, and you're making more connections, which allows you to drive more business into your life. You're going to have more energy because you're going to free up time, because you're going to have more money to outsource the activities that you need to outsource to other people and other things, right? So it's all interrelated. You're going to have more growth and positive mindset because you're being successful and having more success, right? And of course, when you go through all that, when you're being this way and you're doing these things, you're going to have way more ability because you're putting yourself into that position to have more ability, have more knowledge. I learned so much from the people I work with, and it makes me so much more focused because I have more people that I really need to focus on and take care of. So that is the way that we approach a business from a successful standpoint. If you go have, do, be, it will never work. It will never work. It will never be. You may get little glimpses of success, but in the long term, it won't stick because it is all about who you are at the identity level. Okay, you are your subconscious identity, and you may have noticed it's easy to do what you are, and it's hard to do what you are not. For example, if you are a person that is healthy, it's going to be easy to do health things. If you are not a person who's healthy, it will be hard to do health things, right? And if you can't change your circumstance, change your perspective. And your perspective is a big part of your identity. How you see things, the glasses you're wearing, right? Most people don't invest in themselves, both time and money, because they are not that kind of person. They're not being that way. And therefore, they never do the things they need to do to have what they need to have. Now, we can use health as an example as well. So if we run through this exact same thing with health, right? If you're trying to have healthier circumstances and less expensive health issues and more money to invest in yourself, and more time, if you want to have more time and more energy and more health and more support and accountability and more growth, positive mindset, ability, knowledge, and focus, if you want to have those things, then you would need to do these things. You need to invest more in your health, food, your coaching, your lifestyle. You need to do more sleep. You need to do more exercise, more self-care, more life improvements. You need to do things more outside your comfort zone and goal setting and things like that. Definitely more meal prep, more cooking, more movement, and more positive self-talk stories and more productive. But the problem is that most people are like, I need to have these things. I need to have more energy so I can exercise. I need to have more time so I can sleep more. I need to have more health so I can have more self-care, right? I need more support. I need more accountability, okay? And then I can make more life improvements. I need to have more money. I don't have any money, so I can't invest in healthy food or coaching or my health, right? I need to have more ability, so I know how to cook and I know how to meal prep and I know how to move well, so then I can exercise more, right? So they don't do these things because they believe that they don't have them, ultimately because they're not being a person who's invested in their health. They're not being a person committed, ready, resourceful. They're not being a resourceful person. They're not being 100% responsible for their own health and lifestyle. Comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Because that's where growth happens. Disciplined, willing, accountable, right? These are the things that are actually going to allow you to do the things you need to do to have the success in a health transformation over the long term and keep it. So if we flip it, it's just the same thing, right? We flip all of the things around. So you need to be invested in your health, both time and money. You need to be committed to yourself and your health and know that you are enough to invest in yourself. You need to be resourceful. You need to be a person that figures it out, finds a way, makes it happen. Because that's when you're being that way, that's when the doing things stick. That's when all your actions stick. And then you're going to have all of those things, right? You're going to have less expensive health issues because you're being a person who's invested in their health. That will allow you to save more money over the long term because you're not going to come up against health issues because you are invested in your health before they even happen, right? Now, some of you are in a place right now where you are in a hole. And you may need to invest in yourself to get out of that. You're going to need to be committed to yourself to get out of that. You're going to need to be ready and responsible for what you are going to be willing and accountable to do, right? And more disciplined and all those things. So once you change your mindset, everything on the outside will change along with it. Because 95% of everything you do is the result of your habits, which is otherwise known as your subconscious identity, right? So your subconscious habits, the thing you do or don't do every day, is all based off of your being, right? So I hope this presentation today really helps you understand that being is the key. If you're not being a certain way, it's going to be very hard to do certain things and have certain things over a long period of time. Now, you might be like, well, how do I be more of those things? Well, it's practice. It's trial and error. There's mistakes. There's failures, right? It's stepping into that. It's shifting your subconscious mindset. It's investing in yourself. It's being all the things, right? And then you're going to do different things because you're being a certain way. And that will allow you to have what you want. Now, of course, like always, if you need support, that's what we're here for. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. If you have questions, post them in the group. That's what I'm here for. If you have things subconsciously that you're like, I know I need to break through this habit, but I don't know how to do it. That's what we use rapid transformation therapy for, right? If you're having trouble with nutrition or things like that, we have ways to solve those problems. If you have business problems, we have ways to solve those problems. We are there to help you and support you. And that's what this whole group was created for, to give you the tools to be a certain way, do certain things, to have what you want. Okay. So when you start going at it from a be do have versus a have do be, you will be much more successful. You will be much happier, and you will have more long-term success throughout your life because you're going to be doing the things you need to do to have what you want to have. And it's all available to you, 100% available, 100% of the time. So just keep showing up, taking action, and you will get results. And I will see you in the group next Thursday training. Have a great night.